2. Let's do that. Okay, here we go. All right. So if you could go ahead and just stand up, and then I can see you or not, it doesn't matter. It's up to you. But if I could see you, that's helpful because then I can just sort of determine what you're doing. Okay. And the first question that we're going to ask is your name Nicole? Just shake yourself out a little and then ask yourself that, and then see what direction your body moves in. Goes forward. Okay, perfect. Let's ask it something silly. Is your name Zachary?
That's my son's name. That's so weird.
Oh, funny. It just popped into my head. Okay, so we've got a clear yes and a clear no. Okay, so let's ask your body. We're going to do a few questions, actually. First, let me just make sure that I have permission to speak to your body, to speak to your subconscious mind. So I just say, does Krista have permission to speak to my body? Okay, perfect. Can you also ask if I have permission to speak to your highest self?
Yep.
Okay. And now let's ask your body if it's willing to let go of the emotional issues that are keeping it trapped in discomfort.
I'm rocking.
Yep. That's because there's secondary benefits going on.
I'm rocking. Yeah.
So that means that we definitely need to take care of some stuff. I want to do a little bit of ego states transformation before we jump into anything deep.
Yeah.
So go ahead and have a seat. And we're going to talk to the consciousness of your discomfort, to the part of your body that is running this program. Okay. And this part doesn't even require a deep trance. It's a beautiful little protocol that Mike Mandel came up with. I've put my own twists on it, but I want you to just kind of get yourself comfortable and then put your hands over your heart area. And I'm sure you're familiar with hearts therapy, internal family systems, ego states, and all that stuff. So basically, and the only reason I'm having you do this is because I want to associate you into your body a bit while I'm talking to you. Everybody has between 50 and 150 different parts, depending on how varied your life is, how old you are, etc. Generally speaking, there's about 10, maybe 12 parts that we cycle through that are like in the executive position on a regular basis. In your case, mom would be a huge part, especially if you're homeschooling. Wife, your career, and if you're stuck home more often than not, you might not really be allowing a whole lot of the other parts to come to the surface just because you're not out in the world doing stuff, right? But that doesn't mean they're not there. It just means that they're not used to being in the executive. One part that is in the executive frequently for you is the part that is running this pain program. And so we want to talk to that. And we might talk to a couple parts. And I'm not sure if we don't get to the quantum journey stuff today, we're going to schedule another session because you have multi-layers going on here and I really want to get them, especially since you're on a waiting list for a year. Like, let's just get it so that you hopefully don't even need to worry about that. Okay. Yeah. All right. So just go ahead and close your eyes and keep your hands on your heart center. And I want you to just bring your awareness to your breath. And as you breathe in, just breathe in brand new, clean, fresh, unused energy. And as you breathe out, just release any old, stale, used up energy. And just do that for a few breaths until you've sort of cycled through and you feel like you've got new energy flowing throughout your body. And then just bring your awareness to that tiny little space that's in between your inhale and your exhale. And between your exhale and your inhale, right there at the top of the breath and at the bottom of the breath. And while you're focusing on that tiny little space, see if you can make it just a little bit bigger. And now that we are successfully in the here and the now, I would like to call forth the part of you that has everything to do with this pain and fatigue. And whenever you get a sense that that part of you is just right there in the room with you, maybe standing to the side, or if there's space in front of you behind your computer, maybe it's standing there. As soon as you get the sense, you might see it or just feel it or just know it, that that part of you is right there. You can go ahead and put your hands down in your lap, and we'll invite it to have a conversation with us. Perfect. And so the first thing that I would like to have you ask of this part is what its name is. Just say, what should I call you? And whatever the first word is that pops into your head is always the right one.
Claire.
Okay. And so let's say thank you so much to Claire for coming to join this conversation. And Claire might be worried that we're going to try and get rid of her, but we're not. We're not going to try and get rid of her. In fact, what I want to do is help her do her job more effectively. Help her do her job in its most evolved manner for her highest good and yours. Or maybe it's not a her, maybe it's an it. I shouldn't assume pronouns. So let's ask it. Is it male, female, or something non-gendered?
Female.
Okay. And so thank you, Claire. And let's just find out a little bit more about Claire. What is Claire's job in your life? Let her tell you. I don't want you to try and figure it out for her. Just let the information drop into your awareness. And if lots of things are swirling around, that might be your conscious self trying to figure it out, and that's okay. Let Claire just sort of point out which one is accurate for her. Light it up or something.
What I'm getting is like a blackness and like shoveling, like something dark, like dirt or soil, and then confusion and like a question mark. It's
So it
like
sounds like maybe she has some confusion over what her job is supposed to be.
yeah, I've got the idea that she's very thin and very, very tall, but it's black, like a darkness.
Okay. And let's ask Claire, how old were you when she first came into your life?
12, come up.
That's okay. And now let's ask Claire, is she truly a part of you, or has she just been hitchhiking a ride with you since then? Just tell me what you sense. She might not actually express it in words. Does she start to shrink down at all?
No, but I feel like there's attachment to my arm there. It's like a shadow. She's a shadow.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What do you think was happening? And now I'm asking your conscious self, what was happening in your life at 12 that may have invited Claire?
I found out that my dad wasn't my real dad. I think that was around 12 years old.
Okay. Yep. And what was your response to that?
I knew, but I didn't know how I knew.
You had already known?
I had started asking my mum questions about who this guy was. And I just thought it was like some family member that I'd fallen out with. And she was like, no one. Why do you remember that memory when you were 2 years old? And then a few days later, I was in the kitchen drying up with my mum. She said, you know that man Stuart that you asked about? And I went, yeah. And she went, his. And I just went, my dad. I have no idea where it come from. And I felt very attached to my dad who had raised me, because I was like, you know, thank you. But I'd spent my whole life praying I was adopted.
Mm.
And then all of a sudden, kind of in a roundabout way, that's what it was. And then I had this conflict of wanting to meet my dad and writing notes and hiding them away because I didn't want to upset anyone, trying to keep mum. And then my mum found the notes, and so she arranged for me to meet him. And then things got very hard at home. So they were jealous that he was there treating me, taking me out, buying me gifts. And I had a brother and sister, and they couldn't afford to do them nice things for. And it started causing divides in the family. And I made the decision to step back and not have him in my life anymore, because I couldn't enjoy this.
Mm.
It was always my.
So you were getting something that every 12-year-old girl, like, absolutely not just wants, but needs, which is affection and attention. And because of that, it was causing problems in your life, and you had to make the decision to stop receiving the one thing that you needed the most. Which makes you very right for a negative energy to come in. And so what I'm going to ask of you right now is to talk to Claire. And I want you, this is going to sound a little odd, but just go with me on this. Just ask her, is she truly a part of you, or is she a lost soul? Is she attached to your energy? Or is she trying to protect you? Let her answer that. If she's still confused, then that's our answer. Because our parts are always there to protect us. Even the ones that seem to be sabotaging us, they know exactly why they're doing it. If she doesn't know, and she's still in confusion.
No, it's protection.
It is protection? Okay, all right. Then we are dealing with an ego state, most likely. Sometimes we can just accidentally attract lost soul energy that is just not quite here, not quite there. You know, some people call it entity attachments. I think that conjures up like scary stuff with people, so I don't like to use that term. But and that's what it is. And it's not like a horrible demonic thing. It's just like sometimes our energy just gets sort of stuck, and we find somebody that's easy to attach to. And 12, 13, 14, 15 are perfect ages for those attachments. Oftentimes our true ego states come much earlier than that. And so that's why I was suspicious of Claire. So if she's a true ego state, we're going to work with her and we'll see what happens. If these transformations don't work for her, then we're going to have to take a different tack. But let's go ahead and just work with her and say again, thank you. And since she doesn't seem to have an idea of what her job is, that's fine. We're going to sort of tease that out. The first thing that we're going to do, though, in an effort to figure all of this out, is ask her if she's happy with the way that she looks, being this tall, skinny, shadowy, dark figure that's shoveling dirt. Is she happy with that? Or would she prefer to try something different? It might not have ever even occurred to her that she could, but we're going to give her some suggestions so she can kind of play around with it.
She feels stuck.
Yeah, they usually do. So that's all right. So once we start giving her suggestions, she'll start realizing that she has way more power in her own abilities than she realized. Let's just change what she's wearing. Give her something light, even if it's just made of energy, or if it's a cloak or whatever it is. Just offer her a different color. Let her see it's possible. What does she do?
I've given her pink, and it's nice and light and bright at the top, but as it goes down, it gets darker and darker and darker till it's black at the bottom. It's like a dress.
Okay.
That stands out like a cocktail sort of dress.
Okay. But now she sees that she can change her appearance. And what else would she like to change about her appearance?
She doesn't have a face.
Let's let her have a face. Let her pick a face. It might be one of your faces from any age, or it might be somebody else's. Let her just pick a face. I once had a part that had a face of an octopus.
It's just like the blackness just keeps going. It's like a wall. Hard to explain.
So let's hand her a face then.
Yeah.
Give her a face and let her see what she does. Does she accept it?
Smile. Yeah.
What about her hair?
And change it to blonde, long.
Does she like that? Okay, now that she's getting a feel for the ease with which she can make these changes, let's give her a magic wand so that she can continue to make changes for herself. And let me know what she does with that magic wand.
It's just kind of doing that now. So it's not still, it's like moving.
Yeah, that's great. That's transformation.
Almost like a model posing.
Mm-hmm. That's fantastic. Let her maybe try dancing. Put on a little music for her and see if she wants to dance. Maybe she wants some dancing shoes.
She finds that part like it's alien to her.
Yeah, well, she's been stuck in pain and inflammation and darkness for a very long time. That's why we need to sort of just hand her some things to get her started and let her try them on. And even if they feel alien and she ends up discarding them, at least she knows there's options.
We need to change the room. She's in this round room and it's just so dark. It's like she's at the bottom of a well.
Oh, wow. Okay, well, let's rescue her.
So, yeah.
When she comes out, maybe we can give her like a beautiful park or meadow or somewhere she can really be free. Whatever she chooses. Did she come out of the well? Did you rescue her?
Swing onto a tree.
Oh, perfect. Yes. How old is she?
She's about 12, 14 actually.
Oh, okay. Does she like being that age? If she wants to be even younger, she can. Or if she wants to be older, she can. It's up to her, but it sounds like maybe she's been stuck in a well for so long she forgot she's a child.
11.
Okay, let's give her that. 11, before the shit hit the fan. Let's give her that. Did the bottom of her dress get lighter yet?
I think she's wearing a yellow dress now. I think she changed.
And I'm thinking that maybe we should give her some wellies. Maybe she doesn't want dancing shoes. Maybe she wants something she can run and jump in puddles and whatever. Just see what she thinks. If we give her those, see what she thinks. Or we can give her those special kinds that go over other shoes so that she can have really cool shoes underneath. But then when she wants to run and jump and play in the mud and the water and whatever, she can protect them. For some reason, shoes are sometimes very important to the foundation of these parts. And so I like to make sure that they have the right shoes to stand upon.
No shoes.
She doesn't want any shoes. Okay, perfect. So barefoot. That's even better.
Grass. It's like springtime.
Springtime. It's a good metaphor. Renewal, rebirth, regeneration. Let her continue to use that magic wand and create the perfect life for herself. She's freeing herself from the prison of that dark, shadowy well, freeing herself from the prison of being in constant discomfort. And it's okay if you cry. It's just all that old energy moving right out. Just let it move. That means we've got the right neural pathway. So thank you, Claire.
She's just paying attention to the little things, like a blade of grass or a flower, or just the little things, just being in the moment without any cares about what has or what is or was, or like seeing things for the first time.
Yeah. Is it kind of awe-inspiring? Does she seem like she's just in awe? Okay. I'm going to ask you to do something a little difficult, but I want you to show her your house and tell her that she needs to clean it and see what she says. Tell her that you want her to. She doesn't need to, but say, here's the duster, here's the vacuum, here's the mop, go clean the house. What does she do?
He's like holding it and going, huh?
Yeah, okay. Does she not want it?
No, she's like, what do you mean clean the house? Like, where am I supposed to clean? What? Like, it's not. What's the relevance to it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So no wonder she was confused all this time. And no wonder she was stuck in this like shadowy, dark place, you know? Okay, so let's let her just put down those cleaning implements, and we're going to have the right part come and pick them up in a moment. But let's make sure that Claire is just really happy with all of her transformations. And is there anything else that she needs from you in order to feel that she's like living her very best life? She probably hasn't been appreciated very much. So maybe even just letting her know that you love her, or give her a hug, or saying thank you, or anything like that might do wonders.
She's lonely. She needs friends.
She's what?
Lonely, needs friends.
Okay. Let her populate her life with some friends. Human, animal, whatever, other children, whatever she needs. Make sure that maybe she gets some love from you too, though, because it's probably been a long time since she's felt that. She was working tirelessly to try and protect you, but in a way that you weren't very happy with. She probably hasn't felt particularly loved in a while, you know? And is she suited to the job of protection, or would she rather have another job in your life? Because it sounds like maybe she really just wants to kind of enjoy life and have fun.
I'm literally just going to say fun.
Ask her if she would like to be in charge of that instead. She'd like her new job to be making sure that Nicole has fun in her life. Is she happy with that?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Very spirited and fun, and being is finding that the enjoyment in the little things as well. But I've got the sense that it's a high energy now. Like laughing and dancing and going out in the rain, or just doing things, exploring.
And does she have friends? Maybe she would like to meet your sons.
I've created like a community for
Okay.
her, and then we're in the garden and it's just me and her.
Is she pretty happy now?
But she wants to go off and explore more. Garden's not enough now. She's done that.
We're going to give her that opportunity. We will. But before she goes off and does anything else, I would like to ask her if she would like to change her name now that she has a whole new job, new persona, and has transformed herself into her best self.
Sparkle.
Oh, beautiful. It's lovely to meet you, Sparkle. Thank you so much for working with us to bring you into a place of happiness and joy and peace. And so let's let her go off and just have fun and explore for a little while. We're going to call her back in a little bit. But while we're there, I would like you to go ahead and just ask the part of you that actually does enjoy housework to come and pick up those implements, those tools, the vacuum, the mop, the duster, whatever it is that's there, and just see who shows up. Because there's probably one part that really does like doing it, but she probably doesn't want to do it as often as you want her to, but that's okay. We'll just see what she likes, or he or it doesn't have to be a she. Who knows? Maybe it's an octopus and has 8 arms and is willing to actually just like do 8 times the work, in short bursts.
It's a short, plump woman, oldish.
Like a Mrs. Doubtfire.
She's got grey hair and it's like Tweety Pie, the granny on that, but she's much fatter.
Oh, okay. So she probably doesn't move super fast. So maybe it's a lot to ask of her to clean your house in these tiny short bursts. Maybe she would prefer to do it a different way. Let's ask her. Let's see first of all, what is her name? Just say, what should I call you?
Grey.
That's her name. Okay. And what exactly is her job? It might seem obvious, but let's just let her tell us.
Organised, clean. She's just shown me like an old-fashioned Hoover, like what you see on Hocus Pocus when they're out riding it, like that.
Okay. And
she's
let's
kind of
ask.
doing that with the Hoover to me, as if like to say, you do it.
Oh, maybe she's not crazy about this job either. Let's just find out. Or maybe she just needs to do it in a different way or something. But let's ask her a few questions. First of all, hold on a second, I'm just writing. Does she like her job?
Stated.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, totally. And how old were you when she first came into your life?
25.
Okay. And let's give her some things to sort of bring her up to modern times. See what she thinks. Maybe replace the Hoover with one of those little like iRobot vacuum thingies. See what she thinks about that. At first she might be just like, what the heck is this? Maybe make it fun, put some googly eyes on top of it as it vacuums around. What does she think? Does she like it, or is it too strange?
She's starting to get younger.
Ah, yay. What else can we do to make this job of hers easier? Just give her go ahead and give her the magic wand if you think she's ready for it. And let her show you, but she might not know what new technology there is. So we might have to still kind of offer her a few things to get her in the spirit of it. Maybe offer her a calendar so that she can see, maybe I don't need to clean as much as I think, Go ahead, what?
It's no one can do it as good as I can do it. I get the job done properly.
Properly for who?
There's no answer to that. It's a good point.
Mm-hmm. Because the people that you live with certainly are not the ones who are inspecting the cleaning job, nor do they really care. So who is she doing this job properly for? Who is exactly putting this pressure on her and holding her to these high expectations that she has to do everything properly? Properly based on what? What is proper? Why does it matter? Who's judging? Is there some sort of competition that we're unaware of? Some sort of contest that she's hoping to win that we're unaware of?
Be better than my mum.
Does your mom care anymore about a properly cleaned house? Is that still something that is part of her life?
Not as much as it used to be.
Does your mom live with you?
No.
Well, let her take care of her own house. Gray doesn't need to take care of your house to your mother's standards when your mother doesn't even live with you. Your mother has her own house to clean. Ask Gray if she would like to go clean your mom's house instead. She can go live over there. She doesn't need to live with you if she doesn't, want to. If she's so gung-ho about cleaning everything properly all of the time, maybe let her go live with your mom. I'm pretty sure I know what she'll say, but let's just offer it to her. You've got a house with kids. Your house can't be perfect all the time. And by whose standards anyway? Again, quoting your husband, is the Queen of England coming? And honestly, the Queen of England probably wouldn't care either because she doesn't clean anything herself. She has other people do it. So I know this might be all a little like mind-blowing for Gray, but I just want her to start really asking herself these tough questions. Why am I doing it this way? Why is this my job? What does this mean? Is it really necessary? Who says what's proper? Wouldn't proper be what's comfortable for everybody to live in?
It means I'm a good mum.
And so if the time that you have energy is spent cleaning instead of mothering, how is it possible that that could make you a good mom? And I'm not saying you're not, but I'm saying of the two things where you could spend one-on-one quality time parenting kids or use that same time to clean everything properly, which one of those actually benefits the children? And so now let's give her the magic wand. What's that?
It's a distraction.
From?
It gives me space from the family, from the kids.
You can go on a mission unto yourself.
It's where I can think and be. It's where I can be in my own body.
Yeah. Yep.
So it's when I do it, I'm processing.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Better. When I do that, it clears out the mental space and the physical space. So tidy room, tidy mind, or tidy space to think, and it's something less to worry about and think about, because that's at least that's done. I'm not as long as if I can show I'm doing something, then it means I'm not drowning.
I have lots of clients with the same thing, actually.
it's keeping the house in order means no one has to see the real shit. It's a front.
And what happens if you let the house go for a little bit?
The thing is, I've got to face lots of other stuff.
Yeah. So let's negotiate with Gray. And she'll probably want to change her name too. But let's negotiate with her. Ask her if you give X amount of time to tidying and cleaning, how much time would you need to also give to yourself for just being still and learning to feel your feelings? If you can, because I think that the cleaning is helping you process. We don't want to take that away. It's a metaphorical way. It's just that I think you've gone maybe a little overboard to the point where it's not really helping you feel the feelings. It's just helping you to like tidy them up. Not all feelings can be tidied. Sometimes they just need to be felt in all of their messiness. So ask her if that's like an agreeable negotiation, and she can tell you how much time. And if she doesn't like that idea, maybe she has a better idea. But I'm just trying to throw some ideas out there so that she can kind of get a feel for where we're going with this. So if you tidy for 20 minutes and then take 5 minutes to yourself, does she like that? Like 5 minutes meditation?
I just keep getting the number 15, but I don't know what that correlates to, just 15.
15, well, let's ask her. 15 minutes of time to you? Is it 1-to-1? 15 minutes of cleaning equals 15 minutes of time to you? No, that's not it.
I think she's just saying just take 15. And then I'm seeing like walking.
15 minutes of walking.
I think it's 15 minutes walking. I'm
Perfect.
See myself walking through the countryside.
And that's a really beautiful way of processing, because you're in nature. You're allowing your body to move, which starts to move some of the inflammation out, even though it's not comfortable at first. But do you notice that after you've been walking for a few minutes, it starts to get a little bit easier? Even though at first it might be difficult. I mean, I know I do when I have inflammation.
It's all the opposite for me.
Oh, is it?
It can be a stiff to start, then I'm okay, and then it just
gets stiff again.
But 15 minutes alone walking.
Okay, well, 15 minutes is doable, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if you need to build up to it, then that's okay too. But let's make an agreement with her. The 15 minutes is the goal.
Saying once a week.
Okay. And maybe can we also see if it would be possible to approach the cleaning with a limited time frame? So it's not this all or nothing massive, venture when you have energy, and then suddenly you've used up all of your energy on that. We know why now, but we still need to like sort of reverse engineer the habit of it a bit, Is she completely opposed to the idea of help? Or maybe just doing 15 minutes of cleaning per day. If you're doing 15 minutes of walking once a week and 15 minutes of cleaning per day, seems like that's pretty reasonable, don't you think?
Yeah, it's more of a blitz. So I tend to keep on top, and then it's like all of a sudden I notice everything that's wrong, and it has to be one big mad blitz.
But when you're noticing everything that's wrong, the old narrative was that meant you were a bad mom. We've just completely smashed that narrative through and through. So that's no longer going to be the motivating factor for you. You might find that the next time that you feel the need to do a blitz, there's going to be a part of you that just goes, it's not really necessary,
Just a bit at a time.
Yeah.
Because normally it's I find a problem like, oh, there's cobwebs or the doors are dirty, and then it's like the list comes out on the phone and it's add, and it's add so much to the plate that then it's just overwhelmed. And
Yeah. And then
feeling bad, I can't do it. And then as soon as I can do it, it's jump on it, and it's got to be immediate, and everyone's got to jump in and everyone's got to do it. And
yikes.
I need to stop that breeding to just, right, it's just that one thing.
Okay, well, let's find out what Gray would like to do in her off time now that we're going to give her a schedule of, 15 minutes a day. So she's not just waiting, and then suddenly cleaning, and then waiting. Like, what would she like to do with her time now that she's not just doing one or the other? Let her show you. Maybe start changing her appearance a little. Does she want to be this big, large, round, short, gray person? Or would she rather change her appearance into something that's a little easier to live inside of or to express herself with?
No, she wants to be slimmer.
Okay, let's give her that. Let her choose how slim. Would she like different colors?
She wants. So she's already gone younger. So she's now got like a dark blonde, almost like a ginger hair color.
Okay, perfect. How long is it?
It's tied up.
Does she like it tied up, or would she rather go ahead and let it down and let it loose?
Okay, we're going to cut it so it's like a bob. And she's now wearing like a pencil skirt and a blouse and a blazer, like office sort of clothing, rather than brown.
Oh, I think I know where we're going with this. Let's let her keep changing. I think she has a different idea for her job.
She looks like a character in one of the games I play, actually.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so she's almost like cartoony. She's got like clipboard and a pen, and she's like,
Ah.
so
What would she like her new job to be? Just let her tell you.
so it's like she's like ticking off things on the list, but it's not cleaning, it's assertiveness of everything, getting things out of the way and making sure things are done on time. And
So does she want to be like your personal assistant?
yeah.
Okay. Is she happy when I say that phrase? Is she like, did she perk up? Like, yes, personal assistant, like keep you on task, but in a way that isn't putting too much on you. She's going to take most of it on.
Yeah, it's just
perfect.
Like when you're on a building site and you've got the guy there who's telling everyone what to do and where to be. It's that organization, the organizer.
Organizer, perfect.
But getting it done. So it's that cracking the whip when it needs to be.
And what's the biggest job of an organizer? I mean, honestly, it's not getting everything done. It's getting it done in an efficient manner. And blitzing is not efficient. So what does she need in order to do her job to the very best of her ability? What can help her do her job the most efficiently?
At a time. So you can go down the list rather than a bit here and a bit there and a bit there, which is what I tend to be. It's tick, next, tick, next. So it's getting everything all your eggs in a row. And
But does she need to do all of it in one day? Maybe she can break it up so that she has certain daily ones, and then she has ones that are more long-term that she can just move from one day to the next as needed. Like if something doesn't get gotten to on one day, she can just move it to the next without guilt, without shame. Just like, yes, that's normal. That's a normal way to make a to-do list. There doesn't need to be guilt or shame, because honestly, has that been particularly effective for motivating you? Or does that tend to shut you down?
it tends to shut me down.
Yeah, so let's take that particular tool and just throw it in the trash. Guilt and shame, throw it in the trash. Give her some better tools. Let's give her maybe a tablet, an iPad, if she would like to like keep everything organized. She like that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And what would be the best way for her to communicate with you? Should we give her like a little earpiece that goes directly to you so that she can just whisper and just say like, okay, now it's time to do this. And if she has a different idea, let her share that.
No, she that's fine, but she's a bit too eager. That I think she's going to start prodding me in the middle of the night. She's very assertive.
Okay, well, her job is to help you become assertive, not to be assertive to you.
Mm-hmm.
So you're the one that's actually in charge here. She is a part of you, which means that she is doing a job for you, not giving you jobs. Okay. Make sure that she understands that so that she can take that information and work it into her new job description. And she'll be happier that way too, honestly. If she's trying to make you do things instead of helping you and supporting you in your efforts, then we're going to run into more just stuck feelings. It doesn't work when the part is constantly trying to force us to do stuff. We have to help them navigate what is in their best interest to help you. Does that make sense? Empower them and support them so that they can empower and support you. So let's give her a time frame. Like, what time in the morning does her job start? Make it as late as you need to.
She can start nudging me at 8 a.m. It's time to get up. That'll work.
Okay. Do you still need to have your tea or your coffee or whatever? Maybe her first job of the day can just be to help you write your to-do list instead of just immediately like stacking all kinds of things in front of you to do at the moment that you wake up. Maybe the first thing on your to-do list could be to take the time to associate into your body.
Mm-hmm.
Stretch yourself out a little, be thankful. And
just be excited about the day. Just the rather than, oh, it's another day, but I get to do this.
yeah. And we don't want her in charge of everything all the time, right? Because we also have Sparkle to work with. I mean, you've got all these other parts. So we want to make sure that Gray has a very clear understanding of when her day starts and when it ends. And if you need breaks in the middle, that's okay too. Like, if her job is truly just to assertively get through these tasks, then give her like, here's the time of day that works best for you. And what time of day is that, Nicole? Because do you really want to do that right at 8? Or would you rather have other parts that are in charge of like helping you get back into your body, stretch things out, have that gratitude and joy? Because Gray might not be the right one for that. I don't know. She seems excited about her job, but I don't know if she's excited about, playtime, for example, or stretching or whatever.
I need her to find that balance between teaching the kids and working on the business. And it's able to manage. I need it's like a supervisor to supervise the kids, like as in manage them so I'm in the right frame of mind that I can go, right, here we go. And it's it's a calm environment rather than with homeschooling, there's a high pressure of I've got to get it right because their future depends on me. And if I fuck it up, that could have fucked up their jobs and their opportunities. And
Well,
so
what does that mean, fucking it up? How could you fuck it up? Because aren't they going to learn from your fuck ups just as much as they're learning from you being perfect?
it's pressure. It's
Mm.
I've got to demonstrate now that I'm better than what the school can give. That I'm
I see.
good enough for anyone looking in that might have any judgment. So I've got to be a role model to other people.
Right. So there's
But
like a part of you that has to constantly prove that this is the right decision.
absolutely. And it's
Wow,
like
that's a lot of pressure.
kids play up and or they don't want to do it that day. And I know I can be flexible on it, but instead it's my dad. So in school, I was a very clever student. I had great grades, but it was never enough for him. And no matter what my kids do, it's never enough for me. It's that old programming again.
So I have a sneaky suspicion that Gray's job is not all of that, but she is the manager.
Mm-hmm.
And let's ask her, if we give her the job of helping keep the other parts on task, how does she feel about that? Because the part of you that's homeschooling is not the same part of you that's doing your career.
Sparkle needs to come in more and bring fun.
Okay.
They learn fun rather than academic, but
yeah,
learn through creativity and growth, which is what it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Going out, doing things. Yeah, you can do a bit of the books, but not all of it. Like, choose your important.
Yeah. I had a really unusual early childhood that was homeschooled too. And like math class for us was baking bread because of all of the fractions involved and following the recipe and having to double it and triple it and quadruple it for how many people lived on the commune. And, you know, biology was growing a garden. I mean, granted, I was a little kid, so it would have gotten more difficult as I grew up. But like, you know, it was just the natural world became a huge part of the curriculum and the teaching. And so there's ways that Sparkle can totally be involved in teaching, but in a whimsical, fun, playful way that engages your kids'
like,
minds.
Tapping me on the shoulder, like, hello, I'm here. Like,
yeah.
Isn't it? So I need like.
Have they ever met, Gray and Sparkle? Okay, first let's ask Gray if she wants to change her name and then we'll introduce them.
Polly.
Okay, so Polly meet Sparkle, Sparkle meet Polly. Are you two willing to work together for Nicole's highest good and the highest good of her children?
Polly wants to focus more on the business and
okay,
get that done.
Does Sparkle like kids? Maybe she would like to have more to do with the homeschooling.
Sparkle wants more of the just have fun, let your hair down, everything will pan out on its own sort of attitude, and just weekends is for fun, but also the kids can be fun with the kids if you just
perfect.
She's like saying like just calm down, just it's like she's pushing on my shoulders to just like smooth me out.
Kids are ridiculously resilient and creative, and they absorb, which means that they're learning constantly. And if some of the stuff they're learning is stuff that you don't necessarily want to teach them or you don't want them to learn, too bad. You're going to have to let go of that because you don't have control over that. You know, keep in mind that you chose the unhealed version of your mother to raise you, right? We all do. I mean, that's where the lessons come from. And so if you're not doing everything perfectly, it's not your right to take that lesson away from your kids. All you can do is do your best.
Yeah, right. Mom's coming up and it's the pressure is, I don't know where you got your brains from because it weren't from me. And so it's that expectation of I should be doing something. And
you're doing a lot of things. You're doing so much. You're doing more than the average person, and you're doing it with chronic fatigue and hypermobility issues and inflammation, you know?
I could have been so much more, but
I
instead
don't see how.
was a teenage parent, and so I didn't do all of that extra, didn't do uni, didn't do college and all of that stuff.
Who says that that's necessary? From the grand scheme of things, if you were God looking down on earth, do you think God would place the highest priority only on the people who went to uni? Like, oh, they're doing it right. Or do you think God would place the highest priority on the people who are learning to love and connect and interact in their authentic way? What's more important? Do you think God cares how clean the house is? Or that the house is full of love? Do you think God cares how perfect we appear to be? Or is it more about just making sure that we're there for each other? And even if you don't believe in God, you can change that to source or to your highest self or whatever you want to call it, you know? But like, let's just take these silly little human constructs of like, you're supposed to do A, B, C, D, E in order to be perfect, because first of all, there's no such thing as perfection. And look at those people who have jumped through A, B, C, D, E. By the time they're 70, they're not usually pretty happy, are they? They're like, but I did everything right and I'm still miserable. Well, so maybe we can say, excuse my language, but fuck that. Do the best you can and let Polly help you with that, because Polly's very good at organizational stuff. Let her figure that out. But, let her know that the priorities don't have to be what society puts on you. They don't have to be what mom put on you or dad put on you. They don't live with you anymore. You get to make your own priorities. You have the right to think any thoughts in your head that you want at any time. And so don't waste time thinking somebody else's thoughts about you.
I'm just seeing this great big rule book that needs to be burned.
Yeah, perfect. Let's put it in the rubbish bin. Burn it. You are a
Yes.
good, kind, talented, knowledgeable, skillful person. You don't need rules in order to be your best self. In fact, I think if you figure out what your own rules are, your own real priorities, not the ones that have been placed upon you, but the ones that come from within you, and let those be your guiding rules, you're going to feel so much better about everything in your life. And it will all be much more enjoyable. Instead of the have to do, it'll be the get to do, because it'll be coming from an internal place of motivation instead of an external one. I do know that external motivation can be very effective when we're younger, but it quickly wears out its ability to sustain us. So we might be able to stay thin because we want other people to see us as beautiful, but there comes a point where that's just not sustainable. Or we want to be able to make X amount of dollars or have this car or that car, because then, the neighbors will be like, oh, you're so successful. But again, that's not sustainable, and it's short-lived, and it's not actually very gratifying in the long run, because you always need to do more and more and more. And I don't think you're cut out for that. You're actually an authentic person. So living for somebody else's expectations could be a huge part of where that whole dissociation is coming from, And what is Polly saying? Is she like listening to me talk? Polly or Sparkle?
Well, all I'm seeing is going upstairs to the drawer and getting rid of all the textbooks. And one of the other things I keep saying is that I'm not living the life I want to live. So what you just said makes, playing by other people's rules. I need to make my own. Yeah.
And maybe the textbooks can be there just so that you can refer to them, but they don't need to be the guiding force, Use them as resources.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it. They're there to work for you instead of telling you what to do. You're creative. You know this. Trust your creativity. Those kids are going to get so much more out of their homeschooling experience if they get to like just learn from the authentic Nicole than from a dry old textbook.
Sparkle's having the time of her life at the minute. She's
she like, yay, I finally get to, be free.
like if you've ever seen Scrooge with Bill Murray, she's like there with a little one, ding, 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 and
Yes, that's
laughing
fantastic.
and having fun at how ridiculous it is, but not caring about what the repercussions are. She's just like, yeah, we're doing it, we're having fun, but she's got a soft side to her, it's not a nasty side, it's a much softer side.
Yeah, she's got a playful side for sure.
Very.
And I bet she's okay with making mistakes because it's okay. Mistakes are just lessons. That's all they are. It's not like suddenly some hammer's going to come down and like smash you into smithereens because you've made a mistake. The mistake is going to just be an opportunity to learn how to do it differently,
Sparkle's kind of going, come on, Polly, come and join in. But the Polly's here, I can feel it. I can feel the sensation here. It's almost like her back's turned and she's like, not got a job to do, but.
Well, then I think we haven't negotiated fully with Polly yet as far as the timing, because she does, it's unfair to expect her to work 24/7, right? So when she is not working, she can totally join Sparkle. Let her see what it feels like to not have to be working all the time. Let's give her the rest of the day off today. Right now, just say, hey, Polly, go ahead. You get the rest of the day off. It's a Friday. It's an evening. The work is done for the week. Let your hair down. Put on a flowy dress if you want. Strap some angel wings on if you want, just for silliness, or whatever. Give her a tiara. Get anything. Give her a dragon, whatever she might want. Let her just see that when she's not working, it's okay for her to not play by the rules, that she can go do fun stuff, and see what she says about that. Because she needs to have off time. And even if her off time is just curling up on the couch with a good book, let her do that. But just let her have off time. And she might not be the one that's like running and jumping and playing, because Sparkle's taking care of that. But you don't want Polly to feel like she's constantly having to be the taskmaster and the micromanager, because really her job is just to organize, right?
I'm making her list shorter.
Perfect.
I'm like, no, that's too much. Cut it.
Yeah.
Just a few small tasks each day, but doing them well.
Yeah, well, meaning to the best of your ability, but not to some external competitive sense of perfection, please.
Yeah, as in giving it your attention rather than
Perfect.
At the minute it's not doing well. It's like watching a course, pausing every 10 seconds because someone comes in and asks a question. It's like, no, we'll dedicate, we do it well, but we only do small.
Perfect.
And then the rest of the time it's over there with the kids and the fun and the creativity.
Is she okay with cutting it in half?
It's cut her in half now. She's like the woman with the dark hair in where's the Disney movie where they all wear red and they're all superheroes. You've got the little woman, tiny little woman.
Oh, yeah. The fashion designer one.
Yeah, Incredibles. She's
Incredibles, yeah.
down to like that size now, and now she's not. She needs to soften up a bit. I need to make her tall, but the list small.
Yeah. Well, let her figure that out. She has the options. You gave her the magic wand, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. And she can delegate. Make sure she knows she can delegate the tasks. You've got between 50 and 150 parts that she can help to delegate to. So, if her job isn't to do all of the jobs. Her job is to organize and make sure that they get done. So she can delegate to other parts.
Okay,
It's like we wouldn't want date night to feel like a job, right? Date night is supposed to be fun. So when we have date night, she doesn't need to be the one managing that.
Mhm.
Or when you're hanging out with your kiddos, that's probably more sparkle, She can delegate that. Her job isn't to do all the jobs. It's just to make sure they get done. So I like that.
There's this ticker impatience right here now. So she's like, yeah, okay, that's fine. And then there's another part now, and it's like, it's up and down, like impatience, like, no, got to get it done. So it's
okay. So I've got some questions for the ticker.
Yeah.
Are we on some sort of a timeline that I'm unaware of? Is there some sort of a race that we're supposed to reach the finish line of? What's the hurry?
It's a really tightly wound coil, a tightly wound spring. It's so tight.
Okay, this probably is not an actual part. I'm guessing that this is an introject, which is just a belief that you picked up somewhere along the way that's not truly yours. And so here's the best way to deal with them. Just ask it straight up. Hey, are you here to help me? Or are you just an introject? Are you just hitchhiking? And see what it does. If it starts to shrink, disappear, move away, diffuse.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had a feeling. Usually when they show up as objects, it's not truly a part of you. And so I want you to ask it, where did you come from? Who do you belong to? And it will just share that person. You'll know. Because we're going to send it back.
I'm just getting time.
So is it cultural then? Not from a particular person? Like this cultural understanding that you have to get XYZ done in a certain amount of time in order to be considered a valid and worthy human?
I thought I'd be further along than what I am.
Further along with what? Closer to death? I mean, is there some sort of finish line?
Yeah, so it's that awareness of retirement and death and things, and you haven't planned for the future, you haven't done anything. I don't own a house, I don't own anything. It's like you should be further along than what you are now. You should have more, as in money, as in a career.
Okay.
It's going back to the expectation of the letdown of becoming a parent and not having the career that I could and should have had.
Let's take the should out first of all,
Mm-hmm.
because everything is options. We have willpower, right?
Mm-hmm.
And second of all, I would like to introduce this tightly wound concept of time belief that you have that's using apparently shame and guilt as its motivation for you, which is, as we've understood now, not an effective and sustainable method of motivating. But I would like to introduce it to your highest self. And so I just want you to go ahead and just breathe in a little bit, just kind of clear everything out. I just want to invite the part of Nicole that is pure love, pure compassion, that knows all, that sees all, that does not judge, that wants the very best for Nicole at all times, that cries when she's sad, that applauds when she's happy. It doesn't come to the surface very often because that's not the job of the highest self. The highest self is not intrusive. It's gentle. And just let me know when you get a sense that your highest self is here with us. And you'll feel it because it just feels amazing. You got it? Okay. What does your highest self have to say about all of these expectations that you're supposed to get XYZ done by a certain time?
The ongoing path. You're on your own timeline, not someone else's.
Yeah. There's 8 billion people on this planet, Nicole. Are we all supposed to jump through the same hoops at the same time? Are we all supposed to learn the same lessons? Or are we here for ourselves for various completely unique experiences? Does your highest self compare you to anybody? No. So let's let your highest self introduce itself to these other parts that we've been working with today, especially this guilt, shame, ticking, tightly wound part. And tell me how it changes simply by meeting your highest self. I've seen some crazy transformations happen in this way. Sometimes those parts that are full of shame and guilt are actually just like little puppies that want attention and love, and they'll suddenly turn into that or whatever. They're always constantly trying to do things right because they want to be approved. But as soon as they get that love, that adoration from the highest self, they turn into their true self. Once you subtract the shame and the guilt away and let them evolve. Or maybe it just releases. What's happening to it?
It's like time stands still. How to explain? It's like can't put it into words. A profound peace. Not even wanting to talk because it will disturb how amazing.
Okay, well then don't. It's okay. Let the words go. I don't need them for my benefit because this entire experience is for yours. And what a beautiful transformation. And I would love to go ahead and draw these parts into you for full integration. Now that they're evolving, just feel that happen, feel that love, feel that transformation, that bond of perfection at the point of their integration. Breathing in all of those wonderful changes. And I honor all of your parts and the speed with which they're able to change and transform. It's a beautiful thing. And they'll never be separated again or disconnected again or dissociated again. They contribute to your life. They know how important they are to you now. They know their place. and they love you. And you can be proud of them now. They look to you for strength and guidance. And you can give them that, as well as your unconditional gratitude and love. And now I would like to ask your highest self, that highest wisdom state, your superconscious mind, the one that we called upon, that all the others listen to and respect, the one that doesn't come to the surface very often, but has graced you with her presence today. She's very good, very powerful, very no nonsense, but very loving, full of peace and grace. And I would like to ask your highest self to go ahead and pull these parts into integration with her, with you. And as they integrate and heal and strengthen each other, living to their full potential of their individual, unique, beautiful traits and resources that all benefit you, as this will lead to a very joyful life for you. When your parts are happy, you're happy. And when you're happy, your parts are happy. A joyful and powerful life, and a life that matters, a life well lived, not by other people's standards or expectations, but by your own. Because that's what a life well lived is, isn't it? And so this highest self, now that you're here, I would like to ask you to build a committee of Nicole's strongest, most integrated and helpful parts. And this committee, once built, would be set by you, her highest self, to find the outliers, to find the ones who haven't yet been integrated, who maybe were dissociated years ago, decades even, and to nurture them and strengthen them and find the other parts that want to help and to heal. Always working with the ones that want to help and want to do the jobs that they are meant to do, so they can go in search of the ones that need to be healed, the sad states, the distant ones, and bring them back into the family that is Nicole. And when they're healed, have them join the committee and continue to go out in search of other outliers, continuously working just beneath the surface, bringing love, bringing strength, bringing new neural pathways between all of the states, so that Nicole can live the best life she has ever lived. Nicole can step into her highest good. And not too fast. Let's accelerate this gently so it's not overwhelming. We want it to be just at the right pace, just at the right rate. But not too slowly either. Nicole needs relief and inspiration and joy right now, right here, in this moment. Speaking to Nicole's highest self, are you willing to do this and build this committee that will cause resourcefulness and ongoing transformation in Nicole's life? Thank you. Bringing in the outliers, the sad states, the broken states, the states that need healing and love and compassion, and bringing them that and integrating them at the perfect rate. Bringing Nicole's greatest potential each and every day as it grows upon itself. So thank you. I honor you and all of the work that you're doing on behalf of Nicole's highest good. And you can go ahead and just take those parts with you and continue to nurture them, love them, help them evolve, kind of like ongoing therapy in the background, even after this session. As I count to 5 and allow Nicole to fully emerge from this state, feeling absolutely wonderful, absolutely refreshed, rejuvenated, and so much more confident in herself and her day-to-day life. On the count of 1, allowing that beautiful sense of peaceful, loving energy to rise up in you so that you can take that with you for the rest of the day. On the count of 1, finding yourself feeling physically stronger and fitter, more wide awake, more energetic, no longer preoccupied with the challenges of your past, and instead so much more excited about and aware of your abilities of today and tomorrow and every day forward, with your nerves feeling stronger and steadier, your mind calmer and clearer, more composed, more peaceful and at ease. On the count of 2, realizing you think more clearly, you concentrate more easily. You see things in their true perspective without allowing them to get out of proportion. Every day finding yourself becoming much calmer. On the count of 3, with a greater feeling of personal well-being, safety, and security, discovering so much more confidence in yourself, in your creative abilities to do whatever needs to be done each and every day, easily, optimistically, and confidently. On the count of 4, slowly coming all the way to the surface now, having integrated and installed all of these beautiful transformations. And on the count of 5, taking in a deep breath, stretching out your arms and legs, feeling how wonderful you feel. Go ahead and open your eyes and be wide awake now. Well, hello, my dear.
Hello.
We had a lot of work to do with subconscious before we go into the quantum journey stuff. So I wanted to tackle that stuff today. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
But I would love to do another session with you.
I love that. That was like, I didn't want to come back. That was not like hypnosis I've ever experienced before. That was really, really lovely. I really enjoyed that.
The beautiful part is that even though you came back, you brought all of those changes with you. So it's not like they were left back in the hypnosis session. The session gets to come with you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me stop the recording here.